This tip was taken from a longer project called If Clean in Excel. If you want to see the whole project, check out the link, right? One of the corners. It's in the corner. The link's in the corner.
Now we just need to find a way to copy this over and copy and move on, or filter and move on, right? The tip number 11 today, sometimes you just need a helping hand or a helping column. This column's pure function is to allow us to filter on the completed rows. So I'm going to helper filter. How do I know if this is a row that needs to be copied? Now you got to be careful here. We can't be looking for anything specific in these cells because we can have a number of different entries. It's not clear if this is 0. It could be the end of an entry if there's no guest, so we can't look for zeros. What we should look for is if the next row below it is row number 1. So for example here, we'll put an if function. If this cell, which is, you can see 1 row below it and all the way in the beginning, equals 1, then we're going to say include in double quotes. Otherwise, we're going to leave it blank. We drag this up. This helper column is going to be the secret to us filtering this data and moving on. We actually already used a helper column here in this column declaration. You could say all of these are helper columns. Helper columns are often the best way to simplify a challenge in Excel, especially when you're going through Excel acrobatics or something like we're doing now. I can't tell you the number of times I've used a helper column or helped someone who knew a lot in Excel but didn't quite know how to get the job done, or was spinning on what to do, was about to write this complicated macro. You just put a helper column in there. It's a good way to avoid, if you don't like nesting functions, sometimes helper columns are useful for that, so you can see every step of the calculation more easily. So if I filter now, and every time the word include shows up, I have effectively my data table is right here. Look at it. There it is. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to move on. So I have what looks like a pretty good data table.
Again, this tip was from the longer project, If Clean, then Excel. Subscribe to Excel Smart for more tips and Excel projects.